Hi, loves. It's Ro. I'm so excited to be here on an Ask Me Anything. I wish the lighting was better down here. I didn't bring any of my lights down because look at all these windows. So usually at 12:30 in the afternoon, we've got a lot of bright light in here and it gets too bright. But I don't know, it's officially winter in New Jersey, I'll tell you that much. So you guys requested an Ask Me Anything video, and I figured I did put on the community tab and also on my Instagram. I let you guys know, hey, Jonathan, we need to connect again. I don't know why I look like I'm talking sign language. I do know why, because I only talk with my hands. It's ridiculous, but people don't even have to put the sound on, but we need to connect again and do a video. Don't worry, hello, we're all so busy. Please do not worry, but whenever you get a chance, let's connect. And Jonathan and I, you guys, if you're not following or subscribed to both Prison Life Inside and Out, and then his wife just made a really cool channel, Prison Wife Inside and Out. And what's cool about her channel is that not only did she go through all of the incarceration with Jonathan, that's his name, Prison Life Inside and Out. What's your wife's name? I'm so sorry. I can't remember. Is it Melissa? I'm sorry. I don't remember. But she also went through Homecoming with him. So it's such a good channel to, Melissa, I was right. Okay. Such a good channel to subscribe to for Prison Wives because she has that experience and that knowledge that I don't. And I would love to get her on here as well. Okay. So this is a no holds barred, ask me anything. You guys that are new here, I am so excited. You guys all came over for my video that I did with Christina. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here and putting up with my crazy ways. Thank you for subscribing. Yay. Yeah, if you're new here, you guys make sure you subscribe. Thank you, Maria, for saying that I look great. Really quick before we get started, and you can ask me anything prison related, prison wife related, fitness related, nutrition related, anything you want to know about me. It doesn't have to be prison or prison wife life. This is no holds barred. That's what you guys wanted, and I'm down for it. I have to leave though it's 12:30. We have plenty of time. I have a nail appointment at 2. So I just need to make sure you guys keep me on track because I love to babble. This is what we got going on. You look gorgeous without a lot of makeup. Well, how to identify if your inmate partner is a narcissist? That's a great question. We finally got our emails hooked up. Yay! He thinks he's texting. I know, it's so cute. I always say texting and then I'm like, but he doesn't have a phone, blah, 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 because it's such like, you have to be careful what you say. My favorite song, this shows my age, you guys, is by Journey. And wait, is it Journey? Oh my God, what's the song? Where they say, why can't I think of it right now? But in there he says, circus life under the big top world. We just need the clowns to make us laugh, blah, blah, blah. And he talks about, somebody help me, being a music man isn't always as easy as it's supposed to be. Why am I forgetting the name of this song and the refrain? But I cry every time I hear that song because it reminds me of me and Adam. Faithfully, thank you. So that's one of my favorite songs. So I'm gonna answer the questions that I got submitted first, and then I'll just answer your questions here. So love this show and any other prison shows. Yay, John, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. What aspirations or goals does your husband have post-prison? Great question. Let me get to that. Let me just answer these first since I have them right here, and then I'll get to your questions on here. So this person says, Ro, I just started CrossFit. Do you use anything to help with soreness? Okay, real quick, thank you guys. Jonathan, Prison Life Inside and Out, is also a personal trainer, so follow him. I'm sure he has stuff for that. I don't. I'll tell you why. I used to use every supplement. Thank you for the $2. I know you from Jess's channel, and I'm not gonna read your comment, but thank you. I appreciate the $2. So in my past, when I used to compete in fitness, that's my other passion. I was Miss Fitness New Jersey. I was so close to competing in a bikini contest this year. And then I had to weigh my priorities. My coach wanted me to compete in October or November. And he needed an answer like within 2 weeks. And I thought about it and I mulled it over and I was so close. It's not my top priority right now. I have to focus on getting Adam home. And when I was competing like 13 years ago, that was my number one. And it's like having a second full-time job. So the point of me telling you all of that is I would take any supplement, sometimes partly legal, partly not legal. We'll leave it at that. And I did so much damage to my body in doing all of that. You look like the epitome of health, but you're not. You're very close to death's door the day you step on a stage for a competition. So ever since then, my mom was diagnosed with very genetically, like I'm very high risk for this cancer, as my two grandmothers. So I stopped using any supplements unless they're all natural. Glucosamine and chondroitin is very good. Let's see, what else can you use? You could use foam rolling, which is just, that's natural. That's not a supplement you have to take. You can use self-massage, like those sticks that you massage yourself with. That sounds really awful, but it's literally like a stick and you massage your muscles. Guys, come on. Clearly I'm the one talking, so I'm the one being dirty, but whatever. So there's lots of stuff. I'm going to refer to Jonathan on that one. You guys go follow his channel. He's a personal trainer, but we could talk more about that later. The next one is, do you ever feel like giving up on being a prison wife? Real talk, you guys, at least once a day, at least once a week. It's hard. It's not easy whatsoever. So if you get to the point where you feel like you want to give up just because something happens, it's okay, just roll with it. If you get to the point where you're having more days that you feel like you want to give up than not, then it's time to reevaluate your situation and your relationship and figure out if you're really cut out for this. Nobody's telling you you have to stay. Nobody's telling you that you need to do this bid with him or her. If you can't do it anymore, that's fine. I've been in situations where I've come close. I've actually written Adam a Dear John letter. Now, this was a long time ago, years ago. And I sent it, and he responded back with a phone call really quick. It wasn't an email. And he was like, just, And then we talked through it, and we were okay, and we worked through it. But don't beat yourself up if you feel like that. Every once in a while, the system gets you down, Visit gets you down, he gets you down. You just feel over it. I just literally before this filmed a video where I was talking about how we got into like this tiff, and I was questioning my life decisions for the past decade for days. So it's not just you. Interrupt myself really quick. I filmed this video before, right? 2 of them. One with Adam. Look out for that. It's coming next week, I think, or the week after. And I ran downstairs to make myself a protein shake. And I just so happened to walk past the mirror, and I was like, girl, you think you're all fine and sexy and glamorous until the real truth comes out and you pass the mirror and you have 2 different earrings on. Yeah. Thank God this hair is covering it up. Who does? And then I was like, oh, I'm too lazy to change it, so we're just going to go. We're going to do it. One's shorter, one's longer. Please. This is the real me, okay? You love my top? Thank you. It's from Walmart, believe it or not. Yeah, it's like $7. It's just a shirt. It's not a bodysuit, so go get yourself one. They had this color, and I think they had it in a really pretty mustard yellow. Okay, next question. Did you want kids before committing to this life? And I got that question a couple times worded a few different ways. Yes. I thought, yeah, Walmart, so cheap. I thought that I was born to be a mother. I was raised to be a mother. This is something else I mentioned in a video I just filmed. So my parents, when I was 7 years old, joined this very strict religious cult. And I'm gonna make a video about it soon. The reason I haven't made it already, and I've teased you guys with this for a while, is because I want my best friend in it. We met when we were 7, when my family joined the cult, but her family joined when she was 3. So she has many years more experience with it because through her older siblings, she's a lot of siblings. And so I want her to kind of help me dish the dirt because there's so many things that either I wasn't exposed to or didn't experience early on. But in this religious cult, basically women were raised to be at home, waiting on the men, basically baby making machines. As sad as that is, we were taught to be submissive to the men. And many years later, I know that that's not the case, and I've healed from that. But my whole life, thank you for the $2. My whole life, I thought that's what I was supposed to do, and I wouldn't be fulfilled as a human being or a woman if I didn't have children. And I've learned as I've gotten older that that is so not the case. It's such a personal thing for everybody. And I think it's just wrong when people ask people, like, not you guys, I'm just saying in life. I love that you asked me this question because obviously it's important. It follows suit. But, you know, people go out and they're like, when are you going to have a baby? Even before that, when are you going to get married? When are you going to have a baby? When are you going to have another baby? When are you going to give that baby a brother or a sister? It's rude. It's rude. It's up to the woman. It's up to the couple to decide when. So that's just me being in a tangent. That has nothing to do with this question. I did, but now all of these years later, if it's in my cards, if Adam gets out in time, then we'll figure it out then. But I don't feel unfulfilled as a woman or as a human being, or if I haven't lived my life's purpose if I don't have children. He might come home in time and I'm like, nah, just don't feel like it. No, I just don't think we want to be. But it took me a long time and a lot of soul searching to get here. For years, I was feeling unfulfilled, but I'm so 100% okay with it now. If it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, I am just as happy. I'm so happy you guys are all here catching lives too. Okay, how long was Adam in maximum before transferring to minimum? So he went to maximum right when he was sentenced, right out of county. I hate being asked what I'm doing with my uterus, right? So in 2000, and then he was awarded his transfer down to the medium in 2009. So back in 2000, when he was arrested, it didn't matter as long, if you had a certain amount of years or above, or a certain type of crime, like violent felony, then you automatically got sent to a maximum security prison, a U.S. penitentiary, and you had to try to work your way down. A lot of times it was impossible to work your way down because you couldn't get those points off of your record. At that point in 2009, they were trying to make Lewisburg, so he was in Allenwood. They were trying to make Lewisburg, which is literally max 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes down the street. They were turning that into a SMU, so a 23 hours locked down facility for every inmate, not just if they're in the hole. So they were trying to transfer people out of these places so they could bring people into this facility and then make Allenwood the step down when they were ready to leave that 23-in-1 facility, Lewisburg. They're changing it now, by the way. We're going on 10 years later. But they were trying to ship guys out of Allenwood and Lewisburg. So they were able to, I don't want to say clean up Adam's files because they didn't have to clean them up. He was a good boy at that point in 2009. It took a few years for him to get over this whole sentence and all that stuff. But they were able to get him to the point where he was accepted at a medium, and that was 2009. Okay, do you have conjugal or family visits? Nope, nobody in the federal system gets conjugal visits. Only a few states get, they're called family visits or extended family visits. When I first started going online with being a prison life and I would call them conjugal visits, I got chewed out by people who got them, right? And I was like, it's freaking semantics. Why are you getting so tripped up on the words that I'm saying? Here's why. And I'll tell you, and I learned my lesson from it. They hold on to those visits. Could you imagine having those visits and them being taken away from you? So they told me that if you just call them conjugal visits, you're degrading them to just sex. And that's not what they are. When you go into a conjugal visit, or I'm sorry, a family visit, then you're basically living in an apartment with your loved one. You're cooking for them. You're letting the kids play with them. You're in a very secure, confined, basically apartment. And that's, my friend who gets them described it as like a really bad apartment in the projects. Like that's where you're going, but it's still, you live for that. So if somebody is threatening getting that taken away from you because they're diminishing it just to sex, I could understand why these women were getting so bent out of shape about it. So I don't call them that anymore typically, but I do have a couple girls that I'm friendly with who get conjugal visits, and I'm asking them to come on, I keep saying the word, who get family visits, and I'm gonna ask them to come and tell you guys all about them because I think it's so interesting. I've just never had them. Okay, what is my favorite food? My favorite type of food is Italian food. I don't know if I have a specific 100% favorite food. I love, and I know this is crazy, but like sometimes I'll show pictures on Instagram, which is at Strong Prison Wise if you want to follow me there. Just more like day-to-day stuff on my stories, and then we have a lot of really good like supportive stuff. So I will post pictures of like my salmon and vegetables. I genuinely like to eat that. That's not like me being on a diet. I love that kind of stuff. Like if I get a cheat day from my trainer, sometimes I eat fruit, because fruit that I can't have. I know that's weird, but if I'm gonna eat like a favorite cheat food, for years it was ice cream, like literally ice cream. People are like, you cannot have a gallon of ice cream in the house without Roseanne eating the whole entire thing of it. But ever since I stopped eating dairy, even like coconut ice cream, I could just have a few bites and I'm done with it. Dark chocolate is my spirit animal. Seriously, I love like a good dark chocolate. I got into the Halloween candy a couple weeks ago on my cheat day. Meh, like it did nothing for me anymore, but like a really good piece of dark chocolate. Okay, well, what's my favorite color? Purple. My grandmother's favorite color was purple, my mother's favorite color was purple, and my favorite color, because when I was little, I was like, I want to be just like them. So yeah, it's like any shade of purple. What is a random fact about myself? Okay, a random fact is that I'm a lefty. I am a rainbow baby. So that means if my mother didn't have a miscarriage before she got pregnant with me, I wouldn't be here. So that's a cool random fact, right? What is your favorite self-help book about confidence and motivation? I promised you guys that I would make a video about this, and I'm going to do that. So I'm not gonna do that now. Thank you for liking this video, I really appreciate it. I will make a whole dedicated video and I will go through my Audible library and I will share that with you. But my number one favorite like totally shameless self-plug is called The Comeback Code by Clausen. You can get it at bit.ly/comeback code. And the reason that, and it's just a few dollars, the reason I'm pushing that for you is because it's literally written for people to get their confidence back while their loved one is inside. And you don't have to be a prison wife or a family member to get something out of that book, but I literally wrote it and I talked all about my life as a prison wife to help you through that. Oh, I love that you made up your character. Oh, that's awesome. I'm sorry, I keep catching every couple of comments, but I'm gonna go and scroll through and answer you guys. Are you and Adam married? At what point did you start referring to each other as husband and wife? If not, hi to everybody hopping on. So no, we're not legally married. So I talked about that on the video on Christina's channel. And I am sure all of you guys are subscribed to Christina and to Jessica, who's on this video. But if you're not, for some reason, go subscribe to both of them. They're both amazing queens. So it's Christina Rangel and Jessica Kent. After this video, go subscribe to them if you're not already. But on the video I did with Christina, I talked about how I have nothing against prison marriages, but I will not stop fighting to marry Adam out here because I believe he's worth fighting for that, and so is having my wedding. So the reason we started referring to each other as husband and wife is because when I developed the organization, Strong Prison Wives and Families, here's a secret, I didn't make up the name. It was actually a blog that this girl that I partnered with at the time was hosting, and she called it Strong Prison Wives. And back then, this was like 2009, 10, maybe late 2010. She was asking for guest authors because that's how like social media worked at that point. So I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I have this little YouTube channel. There's another thing. I started my YouTube channel back then, but I pulled it all down until last year. So I was like, but I'd love to guest author on your blog, blah, blah, blah. And then we started kind of exchanging notes, became really good friends, and we started Strong Prison Wives and Families. And so I had to give a talk at one point at the Prisoner Family Conference. And in there I said, prison wife, the term is not necessarily saved for somebody who's married. When I'm talking about prison wives, right, because I was going off of the name of the organization, I'm talking about somebody who's really committed to their loved one. So you could be a girlfriend, you could be a fiance, you could be a very good friend. Well, maybe not if it's not romantic, but you could be in any title within a romantic relationship, and I would still refer to you as a prison wife or a husband because that's the level of commitment you're giving to that person. You are putting years of your lives on hold. And I wasn't the one who started referring to myself as Adam's wife. He was the one that started to referring to me as his wife and him as my husband first. Because this is so funny. I was just about to make a video about this, but I wanted to get on live, and I'm gonna do this. There's a difference, if I learned this from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, between a babe girl and a baby girl. And I'm a babe girl, meaning like, I'm not mushy gushy, like baby, baby, baby. I'm just like, if you want to be my boyfriend, fine. I don't need a title. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't know what Adam and my anniversary is because I don't care. Like, I'm not married. I don't need an anniversary. So I'm just more of a babe girl, and I'll explain that more in another video. I'm saying that to say, like, I didn't care if he called me his girlfriend, his wife, his nothing. Like, I don't care. He was the one that started it. And I want to say that was probably like 2 years into our relationship, but I honestly have no idea. Okay, this one says, can we have more low-cost fashion videos? I love your style. Absolutely. I used to do a visit outfit video every single time I went to visit because I would go every other week back then, but I don't anymore. I go once a month, and I'm about to take off for the whole winter. I think I have one more visit. And if you guys want any videos specific around Visit, what I do, questions you have, any vlogs you want, just let me know in the comments and I will happily make them for you. I don't know when it's gonna be, but sometime before the end of the winter, but I will make Visit outfit, like fashion that you can wear to Visit or anytime if you want. Absolutely, I got you. Like I said, this is from Walmart for $7. Okay. Oh, and also where I posted in my community section today and I had that little skirt on, that's also from Walmart and it's probably still there and it was $11 and I wore it to a party last night and everyone's like, where did you get that beautiful skirt? I'm like, Walmart. Yeah, so I will. Do you have any legal updates on the papers that were turned in on November 1st? I think I'm a baby girl. There is nothing wrong with being a baby girl. It's just your personality. It's just how you are. Like it's like being an introvert or an extrovert. It doesn't matter. I'm just a baby girl. It's just what I am. Baby girls, we need baby girls in the world because it's like they probably make the mommies that are like, oh baby, come here, it's okay. Where I'm like, get up, you scraped your knee, let's go. Nothing's broken, we're not going to the ER, come on, keep it moving. So, legal updates. Well, the only thing that works slower than having a contractor work on your house is legal stuff. So the paperwork wasn't turned in, but for a very good reason. It wasn't turned in because the attorney is like, listen, I need this perfect. Adam has always said he's got one shot to do this and he's got to do it right. And the attorney is on the same page as him. Here's a little teaser. I'm going to do another video about this too, but his attorney served 10 years on a 12-year sentence in the feds and then got out and became an attorney. So I'm going to tell you guys parallels because Adam's case and his case are like eerily similar. So he knows about this one shot. He knows what it's like. He has his wife, who's also an attorney, and their legal aid literally combing through it, making sure every I is dotted, every T is crossed. They don't miss anything. So it's probably going to be turned in within the next 2 weeks, although I was told November 1st. I get it. I'm not mad about it. Adam even said, he goes, I've waited 20 years. I could wait another week or two. As soon as that paperwork is turned in and it's official, I'm going to promote this video that I need you guys to help me share. It's 4 minutes. It's Adam talking and he's talking about what will happen when he gets out and blah, 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 just to try to get attention of people. But I will do an update then. I pinky promise you guys. Okay. What did I miss? I think I got everything. So let's answer your questions. Oh, you look stunning today. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. So if you posted a question and I miss it, just repost it and we're going to start from here. If I don't get anything, I'll scroll up, but sometimes it's a pain because then you see my finger over the phone. So let's just start from here. If you guys have questions you want me to ask, you want me to answer, just let me know. I'm confused. Maybe you can help me. How much time will my honey do for a 10-year sentence in the feds? So right now in the feds, they do 85% of their sentence if they have all of their good time. Meaning you start out with your good time, but if they get themselves in trouble, then they could take good time away from them. But as of now, they get 85%. So he'll probably do like 8.5. Well, he'll probably do like 7.5 years if he gets a year of halfway house. It just depends. I had my loved one in the feds, would have oral arguments in his first appeal. Once it's closer, they said no oral arguments. Is that bad or good? I think it depends on your case. I'm not sure. It could be for so many different reasons. So I'm not a lawyer. I don't have a background in law. What I know about law, I know. And what I don't know is a ton. So I don't want to tell you the wrong thing, but don't get yourself all worried and anxious about it. It just might be that they don't need to have oral arguments, that the attorneys can agree on things. Like don't worry yourself sick about that. How long did you and Adam date back in the day before reconnecting? So we were on and off, but we lost touch after probably it would be like a few months and then off in a few months because I hear something outside of the window. I'm sorry, guys. There must be an animal out there. It's like banging against the house. I don't think you guys could hear it, but I was like, is someone trying to break in? Imagine if somebody just pops up. That'd be so scary. Okay, so, and it was on live video. Oh my God, that'd be crazy. Okay, so, I hear it again. You guys hear it? I don't want to go check it out. I'd rather just ignorance is bliss on this one. Okay, so now I forgot the question because I got all concerned about somebody breaking into my house. What was the question? How long did we date? Okay, on and off. And then when we lost touch for 10 years. And then we got back together, and that was 10 years ago. Are you able to have an open relationship? If not, is it hard to stay chaste? Am I able to? Of course. So when Adam and I first got back together, he was like, I have no expectations. You set the pace. Whatever you want, we'll do. I've been faithful to him all this time just because I don't have desire to be with anybody else. Is it hard? No. I mean, there were a couple of times where I was like, and starting to entertain something with a guy, and then I'm like, no, he's not Adam. It just, nah, nope. And it's weird because this is so like weird to admit, but it's almost like when you go on a diet and you haven't had, let's say, chocolate in so long, like you don't miss it. It's, okay, let's do it this way. Visit. You know how right after visit you miss him the most, but then the longer you go, it gets like a little bit easier. It's almost like that. Like right afterwards, of course, it's going to be hard, but then the longer you go, you're just like, it's just not a part of your life right now, and it's fine with me. It's okay. How's Adam's mood, especially with all the progress you guys have made? Is he pretty happy and excited or concerned? Adam is so stressed out right now, it breaks my heart. Things are so erratic inside, and he just wants this paperwork filed. He just wants the next steps. Things are bad where he is. He doesn't know if he should move or if he should stay. It's a lot. Remember I told you I was just filming a video this morning? That's one of the videos I filmed, so that's probably gonna come like over the next 2 weeks. So wait for it, but poor guy could use some positive thoughts. Was the prison Adam was considering going to in Wisconsin called Oxford? Yeah. I watched another prison channel that said that's the second best prison in the entire country. Oh, don't make me feel guilty. Yeah, they have like a food program there. Actually, I had a friend that went there, and I mean, he didn't think it was the best thing in the world, but that's interesting. Also, depends on when that person was there, because McKean was the best prison in the country. They used to call it the Dream McKean back in the day. But as years progress and new wardens come in, and actually new presidents come in, depending which party they're in, then things change within a prison real quick. So McKean nosedive within like 6 months between two wardens. One left. It was a woman. She was amazing. She left. This new guy came in, and it went downhill. During that point, the Republicans came into office, which they're a little more firm on criminals, and they're a little more aggressive and harsh, especially this administration that just came in. So things just took a nosedive real quick there. Now people are trying to get out as fast as possible. So I don't know when this person was at Oxford or if this was recent information, but just know that, you guys, do your research. If your loved one is wanting to transfer and you've heard something good about that facility, cross-check that, double-check that, try to find other people that have been there, reach out to me or one of the other prison YouTubers, see if we can put you in contact with somebody whose loved one is currently there, because I think that's what you need to know. Okay. Love the whole look today. Oh, the lighting gods are smiling down on you. I love you. When Adam gets out, will he go home or have to go to a halfway house? We don't know, because it just depends on how he gets out. So there are a few different avenues open right now, and it depends on how like the prosecutors and the attorneys and everybody involved decides how they're gonna go with it. And it's really stressful for me. And him and I kind of argue about it, because he's like, you're not making plans. It could happen like that. Like they could be like, doors open, go ahead, leave, which would be great. But at the same time, I'm not ready for it. I live with my dad right now, trying to help him get his house ready to sell. Like I can't just be like, okay, bye dad, see you later. I just won't do that to him. So he's like, you're not taking any steps. I'm not, because how many times have I taken steps before and got the rug pulled out from under me that it's like the little boy that cried wolf. It's so depressing, you guys, to go through that and get so close, and then it's like done. Like they're literally, I wouldn't be able to get through everyday life without just spontaneously breaking out into tears at my desk at work. At that point, I had just had surgery on my foot, so I kept having to go to the doctor every week for follow-ups. Just in the doctor's waiting room, just breaking out into tears. I can't do that to myself anymore. So it's kind of this weird catch-22 feeling where I'm not gonna do it, but I'm also setting myself up for like a problem. You could hear the animal or whatever behind me. That's crazy, crazy. It's a little knocking. I know, it's scary. I think maybe one of the animals was out there eating something like a raccoon or something, because I live like in the woods. Today is one of those really rough days. I miss him so much. How do you get through days like that? Okay, so I had 2 of those really rough days over the past couple days because of this little like misunderstanding Adam and I had that I just made that video about. I just so happened to get that day an email with like a blog post from this girl that I follow. She's a business coach. And she said, what if, I know this is gonna sound crazy and out there, but I swear this is what I use and it did help me. She goes, what if the only things you can get tomorrow are things that you are grateful for today? She goes, you would have to be grateful for your toothbrush in order to be able to brush your teeth. You'd have to be grateful for a hairbrush or hair gel, if you can't brush your hair, in order to brush or do your hair. You'd have to be grateful for the shirt in order to put clothes on your body. You'd have to be grateful for the sneakers in order to go to the gym, your car in order to go to work, your job in order to get paid, you know, your coffee mug to put your coffee in, like anything. Once you start focusing on gratitude, it's really, really, really hard to, you can't, like your mind doesn't work psychologically. Your mind literally doesn't work like that. You can't be grateful for something and upset about it at the same time. It just doesn't work. So a trick that I use, as hard as it is in the moment, because sometimes in the moment you just want to wallow and you have to acknowledge, am I just wanting to wallow right now? And I have tips for that too. We'll talk about that in a second. Or am I going to try to pull myself out of this and am I going to be grateful for things? So when I want to wallow, it's okay. You're human. You're allowed to wallow. When I want to wallow, I allow myself 24 hours. That's it. I have one day to be woe is me. I'm the victim. I hate the world. I hate everybody. Everything is bad. Screw the system. I'm done with Adam. I'm done with life and everybody in it. 24 hours. Eat crap, stay home from the gym, maybe call out of work, whatever it is. Don't get out of bed, watch Netflix all day in really big sweatpants because I'm probably eating everything out of the refrigerator too. After 24 hours, I gotta pull up my big girl pants and I have to face life. That is it. I have no more excuses. Will the mood automatically, magically lift because I got out of bed and put on jeans and had to go to work or the gym? Absolutely not. But the more I focus on gratitude and just go through the motions of life, eventually that cloud will lift. But the longer you stay the victim and stay depressed and get lost in that and live in the sweatpants and eat everything out of the fridge and just watch Netflix or TV or whatever, the deeper you're gonna go and the harder it will be to pull yourself out of that. So focus on the gratitude. Give yourself 24 hours to wallow in it and be mad. You're allowed to be mad or sad or any other feeling that you have because you're human and those feelings are talking to you. They're telling you something about yourself. So listen to them. Be upset, wallow. 24 hours later, do what you have to do. Go to work, do something you love to do, whatever it is, draw, dance, paint, blog, sing, workout, whatever your thing is, and just grasp at the good. And that's what's helped me for so long. It's not easy by any stretch of the imagination. It is not easy. It's doable. You just have to focus on the good stuff. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep plugging this. I give you guys like 99.9% of everything, but in my book, which I just said is at bit.ly/comeback code. I literally give you broken down all of those exercises for you to follow along and do with me, because these are the things that I've developed over the years that have you guys asking me on a daily basis, my God, how do you stay so positive because of what you've been through and what you're going through? Let me just do a time check. Okay, we're good. How old are you? I mean, I'm 29. Can't you tell? I don't have any wrinkles. Hey, Ro, it's your new favorite CDN sub. Yay! Much love and respect. Much love and respect right back to you, Bailey. What an awesome, honest response. I try to be as honest as possible, you guys, and I tell you when it's bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. Do you feel this has made your relationship stronger? Absolutely. And I can tell you this. I know it's gonna sound bizarre, but it's the God's honest truth. If I didn't have this, I would have never learned how to communicate on such a deep level and be so vulnerable and honest with my feelings. Because like I said earlier, I'm a babe girl. So I'm like, you don't bother me. I don't care. Meanwhile, I'm in my bed crying, but you'll never know that. I will never show you that you hurt me or bothered me. And when you're out here and you're in a relationship out here, both partners are outside, it's easy to just take for granted all of the normal things in life, right? Or like the fact that you can go on a couple dates and then have sex. Like then you have the physical in your relationship. You kind of avoid the emotional. You just never get around to talking about the deep stuff and really learning each other. When you get that physical stripped away from you and that's all you have, and you know that you could stick your neck out because what do you have to lose? You have to learn how to communicate deep or you're never going to get through this. So stick your neck out, tell him like it is, strengthen your foundation. And then, of course, that's going to strengthen your relationship, because there is nothing that I'm scared to tell Adam. There are some things that I won't tell him, like things that, like, he's so institutionalized, but I know when I tell him that just hurts him. He genuinely like denies the fact that he's institutionalized, but he is, and it's going to take him a lot of work to undo that when he comes home. I'm not going to throw that in his face and tell him that, but anything about my feelings or making our relationship stronger, I absolutely communicate to him, because that's what makes it work. Right now, me and my husband can't see each other, and my phone is off and letters are few, and we're having a hard time communicating. And I feel like he forgot about me. So can you guys write letters? Because there is something so beautiful about an old-fashioned love letter, even when you have phone calls and emails and visits. There is something, even if you guys don't have a loved one incarcerated, send them a card or her a card in the mail, write them a letter and leave it on their pillow when they leave for work. Or incarcerated, send them post office mail. Start learning each other through that. Because yes, it's a pain in the butt to sit down and to write stuff out. A lot of us can't even write. Like, I write for a minute now and I'm like, oh, my wrist hurts. I used to take notes for hours when I was in school, but now I'm like, ow. But I'll type out my letters and I'll mail them, because that's what's going to keep the communication alive, and that's all that's available to you right now. Lean on it, use it. He didn't forget about you, but just because who else does he have? You know, like, it's not like, I don't think they take people for granted in there, as long as it's a sincere relationship. I mean, there are the red flags where people are using people, but that's not in this instance. In this instance, you lost your communication. Lean on post office mail. It'll help you guys. Have you ever separated after an argument? You've been together a long time. We haven't, only because I'll tell you why. I'm not 29 years old, okay? I got back in touch with Adam when I was 31 years old. I already did my crazy, young, immature stuff. Since we were a little bit older, it's not what we do. When we have an argument, we talk through it. We don't break up. Do I see situations where you might need a little break or time out? Absolutely. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. We just never have. We've always worked really well with talking through things. We might get mad. He hung up on me once. I don't think I've ever hung up on him, because I like savor those minutes, but I've been close. We've gotten cut off where I've been like at him, but we always find a way to talk through it and to figure out what's really underneath the anger and the emotions that are coming out, because anger is never the original emotion. It's usually hurt or something else, insecurity, something else that's going on that's coming out and it's being masked as anger. So I don't know if that helps. Almost 100. I know we had 101 at one point. If everyone could like this video, that would be awesome. Tell him that I'm thinking about him. I've never dealt with someone that's in prison before, but I've got all the positive vibes going towards him and you. Thank you so much, Lauren. I love you for that. Do you ever think if he would stay strong as you do if you were in jail? I mean, supporting you as you do with him. That's a great question. And I just had that conversation with somebody, another prison wife. And I don't know if this is an Adam Rowe situation or if this is a male-female situation, but in my opinion, Adam would be supportive of me, sure, as supportive of me as I am of him. I don't think that men are made up that way. I don't think that men's hormones allow them, like their chromosomes allow them to act in the way that women do. We're estrogen, we're feelers, we act with our emotion, okay? Would I judge him for that or be mad at him for that? I don't know. I've never been in jail or in that situation, but saying it to you right now, I don't think so, because I understand that men operate differently. It's just the way that it is. I should ask him and I'll let you know, but then again, like, I don't know that the answer, not that he wouldn't be genuine, but unless you're living it, you don't really know. But my answer back to you is probably not. I don't think any man would be like that faithful to a woman, because you're not made up like that, and we're not made up like that. My loved one is calling, gotta go watch later. Oh, go enjoy your call. How do you deal with people who are judgy because you love a convicted criminal? Great question. I actually answered that on a video. It was a long video and it was really good. It was called "What Does My Family Really Think About Me Being with a Lifer?" And I talk not only about my family, but about other people and how they feel. So go back and watch that. But basically, in a nutshell, like, I talked through it with my family and we argued in the beginning, and it was one of those, we learned to agree to disagree. And then with people who don't really matter, I'm like, you don't get to, why would you think that you got to say in my relationship just because he's in jail that I don't say anything about yours, okay? I don't say anything about all of the stuff that goes on behind closed doors in your house, so you don't get to say that what goes on in my life. The end, done. And I don't entertain it. One time I was approached at work and I shut it down. I was like, this needs to stop here, because I don't need human resources coming to me about my relationship. I don't need to lose my job about my relationship or something else right after they find out about my relationship. So shut it down. Because here's the thing. People bully people that they feel like they're superior to. Usually when you shut it down, they leave you alone. Even if they're talking behind your back, if I don't know what you're saying, I mean, then I don't know what's going on. But they're not gonna say it to your face if, oh, I love, we just got 101 again. If you're shutting it down and being firm about it, you can say, it's not up for debate, it's not up for discussion. Anything that you tell me you're concerned about is everything that I've already thought about 100 times over. So knock it off, leave it alone, don't talk about it, or I'm never gonna talk to you. The end. A lot of people I know have lost relationships and friends because of it. So happy for you sharing your story on Christina's channel. Thanks, Summer. Hi, everybody that hopped on while I was blabbing away. We forget the little things sometimes. Yeah, we do. Practicing gratitude actually rewires your mind in a positive way. Yes, thank you, Becca. Can we just be best friends? I need someone like you in my life. Of course we can. I know I'm new, so I'll have to catch up. That said, may I ask how long he's in for and the charges and the potential release date? I don't mean to be intrusive. You're not. Not sure what is normal, what is not allowed to ask. Ask me anything. That's fine. You're not being intrusive. I'm an open book. So, nutshell version, because it's all back on my channel. But Adam has served 20 years. He is serving a 213-year sentence for robberies where nobody was hurt, but he had a gun in his possession. It wasn't used, not justifying. So what he should have gotten, and I don't think I was clear enough about this on Christina's channel, and I kind of regret it. Adam's underlying crime should have been 0 to 20 years, meaning the max that he could have gotten for his crime was 20 years. Had he gotten 20 years, fine. I wouldn't, totally fine. He deserved to do a chunk of time. I would not be mad about that. What they did was they ignored that. They came in and they imposed a mandatory minimum sentence, meaning the judge had no say in this. The jury had no idea how much time he was up for. They came in, and the prosecutor, because Adam wouldn't cooperate and snitch on people he didn't know, that's what they wanted him to do, they were like, well, we're gonna throw your book at you, the book at you. We're gonna use this law called 924C where you have to stack the charges, and it makes these crazy long sentences. Like, Adam's one of 3,000 people who have these crazy stacked sentences. So his out date, you guys, is, I think it's December 1st. I'm not exactly sure the exact month and day, but 2,185, right? But we're fighting it. We're just about to submit some legal documentation, some like appeals, hopefully within the next 2 weeks. I was told the first week of November, but we're making sure that it's done perfectly because we're gonna get him home. We're gonna fight for it, we're gonna push for it. I love all of you guys that are willing and ready to be like, just tell us what you need us to do. I have things that like you could share for me, that kind of stuff, but we'll get into that. But that's like a nutshell version of what how long he's in for. And I don't remember if I said he's been in, it'll be 20 years in February. I always feel bad wallowing. I refuse to do it because I get that guilty feeling. Well, I wouldn't feel guilty if you just need to allow yourself to feel your feelings for 24 hours. I wouldn't call it wallowing, maybe. If that's like a trigger word for you, I would just say I'm allowing myself to feel my feelings for 24 hours, to take a down day, to take a day off, to recharge my batteries, to figure it out and then move on. Because remember, when you stuff down your feelings and you stuff them down and you stuff them down and you stuff them down and you stuff them down, it's like a garbage can that's overflowing. Eventually, it's all going to explode out the top. And you want to make sure that you catch that before you have an emotional outburst or breakdown. I swear, it's like I'm speaking sign language. My loved one tells me that if something crappy ruins your mood, practice resetting your mindset. Otherwise, the negativity will compound and snowball. That's such a good way to put it, Becca. Can we have a house tour? You know what? I was planning on doing it, but I'm going to do it when I decorate for Christmas. How's that? Because I think the house will be really pretty. My mom had the most beautiful decorations for this house. So I live in my parents' house right now. I moved in to take care of my mom when she got really sick. She passed away in April, and I'm with my dad right now until he sells the house, because they have this big house because they had 6 kids. And so my little sister is coming over. We talked about it last night. She's coming over the day after Thanksgiving because I want to decorate early and kind of get like the happy vibes in the house for everybody before, because it's the first holidays without my mom. And we want to do it in this house because this is where she loved to entertain. So I promise you guys, I'm going to probably vlog with her when we do that, just because it's going to be silly and fun. And I was like, listen, I'll get us like food, maybe like fun like cocktails, mimosas or something, just so we're not emotionally breaking down when we do it. She's coming over because she knows where everything went. She decorated for my mom last year. I'm like, remember, I'm the babe girl, like in every area of my life. I'm like, decorations? Let's go find a wreath. Okay. Like, not a girly girl with this stuff at all. I'm a girly girl with this stuff, but not that kind of stuff. So she's going to come help me, and I promise I'll do a video. Do you ever start to feel like empty or numb about everything? Like ever hearing from him, you're just like, I don't care. Even though you still love him, you're just feeling disconnected. Innocent tears, 100%. Last week, that was me. 110%, I should say. It was like, I almost, in a weird way, was begging for him to break up with me without saying it, because then I would be relieved and off the hook for this. So it's normal. It's so normal. We all go through it. This is not easy. Sometimes you just want the hard things to be over. But then you realize, oh my gosh, like, these are all the feelings that I love about him and all of the things that I don't want to miss out on. It's like I said before, when you start having more bad than good, and you start having that feeling longer than you have this is why I'm with him, then you have to reevaluate and decide if it's time to go. And there is nothing wrong if it's time to go. That's okay. And there's nothing wrong if you stay after those feelings. It's just what works for you in your life and your relationship. Oh, Spitfire, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. All the small things. Oh, love you, Jess. Have a good day. Oh, you guys, by the way, I just got this notification. I'm like so excited. Like I'm such a nerd with this stuff, that I got stickers for my live videos were implemented on my channel yesterday. I don't know what that means. Do you guys see any sticker thing? Like, I was so busy at work yesterday. I had no time. I saw the email. I was like, that's so cool. I don't have time to look in to figure out what this is. So does anybody know what that means? Or do you guys know from other YouTubers? Like, what are stickers on live videos? Clueless. The girl is clueless. I'm just learning as I go, having fun. Okay, let's keep reading. My loved one just found out he might be a lifer. He told me he can't be with me anymore because of this. I'm obviously heartbroken, but I just don't know what to say to him or how to comfort him. Girl, that is so common. I've been coaching prison wives with other prison wives like Joe, who saw my channel, for 7 or 8 years now. 100% of the time, at some point within the first 6 weeks, they will push you away. They're going to push you away because they feel so much guilt dragging you through this. They're trying to figure out how to figure out life inside. They're disconnecting from the outside world because that's hard for them. They're trying to figure out, oh my God, now I have to be an inmate. I have to get in touch with this inmate personality. I have to figure out what that inmate personality is if they've never been in there before. I can't have attachments to anybody else because I have to go into the hard inmate role. I cannot have emotions or anything else like that. They have guilt for leaving you out here. They have guilt for dragging you through this. They have they're hardening themselves. They're getting a grip on losing their emotions, I guess, because it's tough in there. You cannot show vulnerability. So they're like, goodbye, I gotta go. I'm not gonna put you through this, nor can I be the man that you need me to be a lot of times. Almost every time, give them a few weeks, let them have their space. Don't, baby girl or babe girl, please don't push them because you're just gonna push them away. Let them know I'm here for you. I love you, whatever capacity you need, they will come back. I promise. And if they don't, then the relationship just wasn't meant to be. But almost always, they wake up one night or they can't fall asleep one night and they're locked in a cell by themselves, surrounded by a sea of gray and cinder block. It's cold, it's lonely, and they're like, what did I do? I need her. Everybody else in my life has abandoned me. She is my ride or die. I need her. And it usually doesn't take very long, but sometimes it does. So just give him his space, see what happens. If he wants to push you away, maybe start dating other people while you wait. It's up to you. But usually they come back around. And I get why he wouldn't want to put you through a life sentence. It's not easy, girl. It's not easy for anybody involved. How do you deal with judgy people? Depends on who they are. So like I was saying before, if it's just a judgy coworker, I'm like, see you later. If it's my family, I'm like, well, let's talk. What's the problem? Like, what do you not see? And then we'll just talk through it. It just depends. Go back and watch that video because in there, I talk about a huge fight I had with my mother when she was well about this and how I handled it and how how I deal with my father and my family. It's called, I think, something like what my family really thinks about me being with a lifer. I think that's going to help you by watching that video. Can we write letters or emails to Adam? Of course you can. You know what I'm going to do? I didn't even think about doing this until now. I'll put his address in the description box. As far as emails, I think he's tapped on the amount of addresses. So they're only allowed, I think, 50 email addresses at a time. So I think he's tapped on adding people, but he would love to get mail. So I'll do that. I'll give you guys his address and his register number. And oh my God, that would mean the world to him. The only thing is he can only get letters on white paper with blue or black ink. So no pencil, no colors, no marker, no crayon, no cards, believe it or not, no color. So they can't have color envelope. It's gotta be white paper. I think like loose leaf paper is okay, or just plain printer paper and plain white envelopes. I know it's crazy and it breaks my heart because I can't send him cards for holidays and birthdays and anything like that. Don't add stickers, don't add glitter, don't add perfume, don't add anything. Just plain, 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 because the BOP changed their rules about the letters that they get in because supposedly people were sending in spice that way. I'm trying to watch what I'm saying. Okay. Does Adam understand how social media works? And when you talk about it, I bet he's so proud of you. He does a little bit, although he's never touched it. But I have to say he's been really good at keeping up. He Wired magazine circulates in there, so he reads that. He'll tell me about apps sometimes, but sometimes it works against me because he thinks things are so much easier than they are. He's like, because I have Google in my pocket, I should be able to stop and drop and Google at any given moment. And like, how dare I not be able to find like this congresswoman's personal phone number because she's a person and you have access to the internet. And I'm like, oh, it doesn't work that way. So I was just talking to my friend Sarah the other day, and her husband was asking her, how many hits does such and such Google search get, or something like it was something that was from like 1982, like not really, from like 2000, right before he went in. She's like, nobody even uses the word hits anymore. I was joking with her. I'm like, oh, maybe he wants to know how many hits his MySpace page gets, because like in theory they know things, and her husband's been gone 16 years, so very close to. Just this morning, I filmed a video with Adam where he acknowledged something that happened. He had access to something totally legally, but had access to something where he was like, I had never seen it in real life before. So I was like acting like a little kid, and then somebody called me out and I was so embarrassed. So, cause I asked him to do, you guys asked him for the funniest thing he's seen inside, and that was there were 2 of them. So that's coming like next week. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it was really funny. And I told him, because he's so into technology, I was like, like one of the first days you get out, I'm just gonna drop you off at Best Buy and be like, okay, have fun. I'll be back in like 3 hours. I'm gonna go shopping. Just kidding. I'll be hiding behind him with a camera so you guys can see too. I would have never learned to communicate because in my past relationships, I would harbor a lot. Yes. On your way to visit? Yay. Oh my gosh. Have a great visit. I hope everything goes great. Damn autocorrect. Lee, yay, it's you. Oh my gosh, I was on your live video for like 2 seconds the other night and I was like, I haven't seen you in so long. I hope everything's okay. So I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're okay. I had to hop off because Adam called. But autocorrect and I do not get along. And these nails, that's where I'm going at 2 o'clock to get these things like Weed Whacker, please. They're awful, but I can't, point is I can't type either. Everything comes out wrong. I've been in jail. I have a video on my channel talking about it. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go look at it. I will, thanks. I have a whole town that hates me. Oh my God, April, I'm sorry. strongprisonwives@gmail.com if you want to talk about it. Lordy, Lordy Lord, well, let me tell you what people think of me. You're so funny. My husband is very emotional. He's been in 13 years now. He's in a TC and can have a phone. So he calls me 15 to 20 times a day. I used to email him every day, but since he has a phone, it got cut off, but I guess he doesn't even bother. That's awesome. Yeah, we just have to use the resources that are available to us. So if you have email, lean on it. If you don't, lean on post office mail. Whatever you can to keep your relationship strong. I have a hair stuck to my chin somewhere. It's annoying me. Okay. Mind your own damn business is what they need to do. They need to join Lee's YouTube channel and then he could tell them for you. I'm just kidding. I'm studying psychology and eventually would like to work in a prison as a social worker or a counselor. I'd like to start writing inmates to experience interaction myself. Any advice? I think that's amazing. Do you want to write to male or female? Why don't you reach out to me, strongprisonwives@gmail.com, and I'll put you in touch with my friend who runs a pen pal site. I don't know if it's men and women, but we'll get you some people to write. If Adam can get you people to write, whatever we could do to help you, because I think that's an amazing, amazing aspiration. My uncle has been in prison for years. Oh, I'm so sorry. Does he feel like I don't want to talk to him? I think you're talking to someone else. What do they do for the holidays? Are you inside or outside? Okay, right now, are you talking to me? I'm inside the house. Obviously, I'm not inside of prison. What do they do for the holidays? They do a special meal. The guys inside do something together. But I have a video that I did last year around Thanksgiving. It was all about that, and I'm going to do more this year. So look out for that. I'm going to ask Adam to come on the channel and talk about that. Thank you so much, my beautiful friend, Little Mama, for the $4 for Zoom Zooms and Wham Whams for Adam. He's going to love it. Ro, do you have an email address? Yes, strongprisonwives@gmail.com. I've cut so many people out of my life because of their negativity towards the situation. I don't talk more than maybe 3 people now. 2 friends are super positive and my fiance. So that is exactly why I started Strong Prison Wives and Families. So please reach out to us on social media. Everybody is so supportive and there to help. What time is it? Okay. I have maybe like 5 more minutes. Then I have to go get ready to go get my nails done. My partner's in jail. He gets a cell phone. Okay. I'm going to delete that comment because I don't want you to get yourself in trouble saying publicly that your partner can one of the mods, I can't get it. I want to protect you. I don't want you guys to put out on the internet things that your loved one shouldn't be doing because I don't think they're going to find my channel, but just be careful what you guys put on the internet. Like a lot of people will get mad at us on my Strong Prison Wives and Family social media pages where we delete things like that. And they're like, you guys are the police. Our loved ones are in jail. We don't need any more rules. I'm not trying to give you rules. I'm trying to protect you. You know, thank you, whoever got that. And that's nothing against you. Do you boo. Whatever works for you. I just don't want my social media pages or my channel to be a reason that you got in trouble. So just be careful. Think about what you're putting out there. The internet is a public space. Anybody can say there's somebody else on the internet. So just be careful. Do you believe in mandatory minimums for any type of crimes? For example, Brock Turner got 3 months in jail for those bad things I can't say. I'll tell you what, I think that's awful that he got 3 months for that. I think that's ridiculous. And I don't know anything about that case. So I can't really comment on that. But I agree with the person who stated, I don't remember which congressperson stated, or I'm sorry, which Supreme Court justice stated this. I think it was Supreme Court Justice Gorsuch. I'm not positive though. And they said, by implementing mandatory minimums and taking that off of the judges, you're first of all insulting those judges, like professional, like all of their schooling and what they have built up in their professional lives to do. So you could give somebody a mandatory minimum and they could say, no, they deserve more time. They deserve more than that, but you're taking that away from me, so I can't do it. And also, like, I don't know, I just think that they're so misused that they're creating these crazy sentences. Like, look at all of the lifers that we have inside for marijuana that's now getting legal. So do I believe in it for some cases? I don't know, because then who am I to say, like, well, this is the time you should use it, this is the time you shouldn't? I think that we need an overhaul, and we need judges in the position that do their job right. Like, I don't think 3 months for those crimes is any more just, less just. I don't know how I'm trying to say this, but I think it's just as bad and as much of an injustice as Adam getting 213. And that's our system needing an overhaul, and I don't think necessarily mandatory minimums would fit there, if that makes sense. Like, that judge should have used his discretion and should have said he deserves way more than 3 weeks or months or whatever for that. I hope that makes sense. I was told that they can have tablets, but only for music and video visit. Yeah, absolutely, they can. Those tablets come through Securus, but that is a prison-issued tablet, and it's prison-issued security system. It comes from, like I said, the same company that owns JPay runs Securus, and they own all of that, and they own all of that software that's made specifically for prisons. So they can't just get a tablet off a street. You can't bring them a tablet. A CO can't bring them a tablet that's not issued through the prison, and that be legal, if that makes sense. And cell phones inside, not legal. What is Adam in prison for? Robbery. Then you have to buy writing supplies, I suppose. Inmates? Yes. All right, I've got about 2 minutes. Ask who's got a burning question about me. It doesn't have to be about prison. It can be whatever you guys want. I'll answer 2 more questions, or you got 2 minutes, whatever comes first. Hi, Faith. It's so hard for me dealing with life on the outside. Whoops. I can't talk to anybody about, oh, it keeps moving. Making a dime stretch to $1. Oh, yes, I hear you, girl. Join our social media pages, because Strong Prison Wives everywhere, because we have a lot of the same people that can relate. Does Adam have free roam of the prison? How restricted is he? So basically, but they have movements where he is, so you can't just like open the door and go. You have to wait. They only call moves or movements every hour, and then you're locked into where you are. So let's say he wants to go to recreation. At 9 o'clock, they're supposed to call a move. Does it always happen? Usually not. Definitely, usually never on time. So then he's locked in there for the next hour. If he misses the next move, he's stuck there. So then if he wants to, let's say, go outside to the yard, only when it's open, he has to wait until a movement. So then from the yard, if he wants to go down to education, he has to wait. If he misses that, then he has to wait 2 hours or 3 hours. So yes, he has a lot more movement than somebody who, like, in a county jail that's confined to a certain unit, but it's not just like he can come and go as he pleases. He has to wait. They're called controlled movements. I could do a whole video about movements if you guys want. How should you start the letter to Adam? So I would just say, Ro gave me your information. I'm a subscriber on YouTube, and then so he knows who you are, and then go. And I'll let him know that he's gonna get some letters, because Adam's a very old school inmate. He's been in for a long time, and sometimes back in the day, he would not open mail that if he didn't know who the person was, because it could be a setup. Isn't that crazy? Have you ever lived with a guy? Yes. Just asking to see if there are certain guy things you're already used to. Yeah. Oh yeah. I lived with a guy for many years. Leave their clothes everywhere, toilet seat up, etc. That makes me me laugh so hard. Well, I live with my dad right now. He's pretty clean. And I have to say, like, the guy I lived with for many years, he was pretty good too, because he was in the Marines. So, oh my God, you guys, it's a deer in the backyard. I'm gonna show you real quick, but he was pretty clean, but yes, he did guy things. Okay, I'm gonna show you the deer real quick and then we're gonna go. Oh, it's beautiful. Well, I've been seeing a lot of reindeer. This isn't a reindeer, but the time of year, it's like reindeer time of year. Hold on. I'm gonna, oh my God, it's a family. Let me know when you guys can see. I don't wanna scare them. Do you see them? Aren't they pretty? There they go. There's Bambi. Oh my God, let's see what you guys are saying. There's the big guy. These aren't reindeer, but yeah, we do. Yeah, I live like in the woods in New Jersey. Let's see. Okay, sorry guys. I don't want to go out there and scare them, but because they'll freeze and then they'll run away, and I don't want to scare them. They're out there like eating the grass. I love you guys. What a beautiful view. Oh, I know you guys love when I do videos out there. I just couldn't today because it's like in the 20s here. It's real cold. How do I flip this back? Oh, there we go. All right, I love this. I love you guys. If you guys want me to do just more, let's get out of the sun. If you guys want me to do just ask me anything, sit downs, more like this in the future, just let me know. I'm here for you. I'm here for it, whatever you guys want. Let me know in the comments if you have requests for videos. I'm gonna film after I get my nails done. I'm gonna film the rest of the day, and then I've gotta clean this house because I have family coming over and I live with a man. So I'm the one that gets to bleach the house as I would want. You guys keep staying strong, keep loving strong, keep supporting one another through this journey because you're one day closer to it all being behind you. And God knows I am too. Lots of love from my heart to each and every one of yours. I'll see you beautiful ladies and gentlemen in the next one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for the last little while. And thank you guys so much for the super chats. I love you guys. You're amazing. Mwah.